Just fucking.
Yo, can we get a Corey intro tonight? Or something of the sort? Can we get a Sigil intro?
Almodovar.
Why are you waiting on me for? I'm not doing the intro tonight.
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
are idiots. Oh my gosh. I'm leaving. Bye. I hate vaping. I hate my life.
Wait, run another intro. Go.
He wasn't ready.
I don't have another intro.
Hitler did nothing wrong.
Oh, that's not the right one. This is not good. This is what happens when
you dig too deep in your soundboard.
Well, I mean, yeah. All right.
Tonight on Plumes of Hazard.
Go. That's as good of an intro as you're going to get. I mean, do you want background music or something? Are you going to rap?
Go outside.
Dude. No, come on, no, stop it.
Hey, was it Raindrops?
Yeah.
That was a good tune. That was a good tune.
That's the.
Wait, did you just say that was a good taint?
Good tune.
Oh, like
that's the Spol remix of Raindrops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna get hurt real bad.
Go.
Somebody. Not.
I'm not doing the intro.
Not going.
Hi,
to
everybody.
I don't even vape anymore. Why would I do the intro?
Because you're the Mexican guy in IT.
No. Get it right. I am codename Wall Jumper.
I always sized you up more as a tunneler, but
codename Wall Jumper. Go. I'm gonna fucking leave. I'm not doing the intro.
Do you want me to
I'm gonna go watch the Nick and Ruby show.
I don't think I've ever actually done the intro.
Oh, actually, yeah, that'd be good. Here, I'll play this while you do it.
I know what you're gonna play.
Oh wait, okay, intro. Sriracha farts. Hi, welcome to the Plumes of Hazard.
Wait, Angsty wasn't done.
Oh, you hit it, man. You're better at I am anyway. Go.
Oh, is he not gonna do it? Come on.
Let me tell you about a little old place called Vaportown. Oh, keep rolling it, Mast.
No, we're gonna get desisted.
Oh, really? Fuck. You don't have like a royalty free.
You know what? Fucking Sean should just play it on his damn guitar.
Oh, there you go.
Sean, can you play it real quick? Can you go get it? Yeah.
I want to tell a story about Vaportown. Come on.
All right, go.
You have a banjo?
I do have a banjo.
I was about to say, I think you told me before you have a banjo.
Yeah, you do have one.
Can you please?
No. None of them.
Motherhead is right, by the way, because Texas does not have banjo inbreds. We have a completely different brand of inbreds.
No,
I gotta
have
sound
Stone
bite.
Cold Steve Austin's.
I got a sound bite for Sean.
Mega faggot.
I was not prepared for that.
Jeez, it's too early for that shit, man.
It was way too early for that.
No.
I am retreating to my safe space.
Were you gonna do the damn intro or not?
Okay, I'll do it. Welcome everybody to tonight's. No, now you're gonna do it. Shit.
No, he's gonna do.
That's the joke. Hi, I'm Fibonacci. Welcome to the Plumes of Hazard.
you gotta announce the people.
To my left, I think it's to my left, right? To the left, to the left. I got the Angstful Vapor. Tap that can. Mega tap it. To my other left, I got Sean.
Come back, Sean.
He's in a safe space.
It's you cannot give me shit for the there's immunity for the first 30 minutes of the show.
Well, whatever. He's just gonna cross his arms.
Welcome.
Mooch.
I don't care.
Anyway,
I don't care. I don't.
and to my other left,
Your
the
third
red. The red. He's got the red scroll. He's got the red shirt. He's got the shit coming out his nose. The beard
I'm
is coming
bitten.
back. The beard is coming
Oh, yeah.
back. He's stenciling that in right now. It's a fuck is that magnetic thing? Etch a
Fucking,
sketch.
Etch a sketch.
No,
Yeah.
not the etch a sketch. The other one where you can.
Yeah,
it's like
the
a dude's
beard is-
face.
me and Ahmed got a race going on.
Well, you're a week ahead. I did it like the week after you.
Was it a week?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I know we couldn't split thunder that week.
No.
That would have broken the interwebs.
Yeah. So, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. I think I'm just. I've been thinking about not growing it back.
Well, it is coming up on the summer. That makes sense.
This doesn't generally make me hotter. It's this actually. Like I thought about.
No, I mean like the full beard not coming back makes sense because it's summer.
Yeah. But it's actually more so my head hair that makes me.
Sure.
All right. That damn scroll bead shit's getting annoying.
But
Disable.
anyway.
Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Welcome.
We are
we
the,
have a fucking guest tonight.
Mhm.
Yes, we do, and we are the Unideal Resistance Show, and we're here to
We're the concealed scrote show.
Concealed Scrotum Show. All right,
Concealed scrote show.
Opposed to the exposed screws.
that would be the Brain Show.
my first time having this. By the
Yeah.
way, I found one. Fucking mass. I didn't show you, but yeah, I fucking found one tonight.
That have a slurp. Tell me which night.
I've had a
What,
couple.
Go.
what did you have to go through to get that? What part did you sell?
Wait,
Is it a 10?
Warm
up.
ethyl maltol, baked raspberry. Tastes like that powdered raspberry iced tea from back in the day.
Drink it now. Like you're in a Monster commercial.
Right?
All right.
Was that perfect? The placement, the angle.
That was perfect. Maybe every time you take a sip, you'll get a little trombone.
Oh well, let's do it. Let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah. That'd be a nice way to live.
Yeah. Soundtrack to your life.
Every time I take a sip, it's like the bass just drops.
Sip.
What do you think? Do you like it? I think that's the best one.
I still.
It is good.
I still,
It is good. I like peach more though.
Yeah.
I still stick with the pink lemonade.
I still say the green tea was the best one. They discontinued it.
See, and that's what makes us.
There was a green tea. Why
Which one's
did
that?
you? I didn't know that piece of information until just now. You just,
Dude, the green tea was the jam. It was green tea and a little bit of apple. It was fantastic. It was really, really good.
This is the reason why we're the Plumes of Hazards. We all have our opinions and we all like different things.
And we never forget.
And we never forget.
That's not true. We forget all the time.
so we're like the North.
I'm glad Mooch is in the chat because I actually have a question. One of my news segments involves a question to Mooch.
Oh, so anyway, what did I have to do to get this? Go to the fucking Rite Aid next to my grocery store that I go to not very often. Dude, their drink selection is. They had like 4 or 5 flavors there. I was like, place has been here the whole time.
Was it all the lemonades? Because the lemonades are meh.
They have a lemonade,
There's pink and regular lemonade.
pink and regular, peach. They had this, and I think that's it. 4 flavors, right?
Yeah, those are the ones that you find now.
Yeah, I was surprised to see them. Yeah, and then this one.
Yeah, and occasionally find the red ones.
So
It's funny we end up talking about this because I have, I'll go and buy like 4 of those every like 2 months, and yet it's like a regular occurrence on the show. I love it. But I drink them in the morning. When I have one, I'll have one in the morning, which is why I don't really care for the lemonade because it's a little early for the lemon tanginess.
And then, what did I get from the grocery store? I don't go to very often.
No, Butts, that is not my production because the name of my company is not Mass Mods, it's Mast Mods.
Look, avocado oil, Himalayan salt, my
And
chips.
hang on, and I would never, ever leave a 510 on top of a box. All my 510s get fucking put
In the box.
6 millimeters under the box.
In the box.
In the box.
You should make some kind of marketing pitch involving like the 6 millimeters.
This nice
My 6
nice looking
millimeters
boxes.
under.
Wait. Hold on. The original Mass Mods Micro had an external 510.
No, the original Mass Mods Micro had a 510 that was put in. Or if you remember, it was the Avid Vapor 510. Sorry, the
It was
the
shitty.
original. It was a shitty 510. The original gold one.
The little press fit guys.
Yes.
That's true. I meant like the full 510.
Yes.
The first one I had, which was number 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was extra. And then this one had the ultra thin Varta.
Yeah, and in those boxes, it was I ain't got much room to play with there. So,
yeah. Anyway, so avocado oil
And Himalayan salt. These chips is bad and bougie. And fuck me, these are pretty good. I was telling Angsty before we went live. The texture is, well, first of all, they taste good. They taste really good. The texture is like halfway between like a regular lay potato chip, kind of ruffled type deal, and a regular kettle cooked chip. So it's kind of nice to have both.
Cool.
You can have dos. Los dos.
Porque.
So, yeah, I saw these. I originally had a bag of salt and vinegars in the cart. I put the salt and vinegars not where I got them, but where I got this. Yeah, I did put my cart back though, so.
There you go. It's little things.
Yeah. So that's try those. They're they're not like, they don't have some deep extravagant flavor. They're solid.
Can you taste the avocado?
No.
No.
Not really. I mean, avocado themselves don't have a tremendous amount of flavor.
No, it's pretty subtle. It's true.
Yeah, it's like texture and all that other stuff. Yeah, I was very surprised. I was talking about Munchos. They kind of taste like Munchos if anyone's had those chips from. Yeah.
I saw. I should have sent it to you. I saw a bag of chips that had a wrapper on it, and it was so and so's barbecue chips. It was his face on the bag of chips. Yeah, let's see if I can find it.
I want a bag of chips with my face on it. That'd be so much better than a juice. Right,
dude? Yeah. Here we go. It was wrap snacks. Here.
I'm surprised Shaq doesn't have bags of chips with his face on it. I saw an end cap at 7-Eleven when the Shaq's the Shaq iced teas came out, or those drinks. It's just fucking stupid face. There are like 3 different ones.
Here is the image, and the one that I was talking about was this one right here. Wrap snacks. Romeo Miller, barbecuing with my honey. Then we also have wrap snacks, and this one is sour cream with a dab of ranch Migos. And then we have
that's literally bad and bougie.
wrap snacks, honey jalapeno fetty wrap, flavored potato chips. So there you go. Wrap snacks. When you want your never mind.
How come Birdman doesn't have his own flavor?
When you want your timestamp to go on the Ideal Home Show.
So, Foo, what are you vaping on?
Hey, Foo, what are you vaping on?
Hey, Foo, guess that's vapeando and on him.
As of like 45 minutes ago, an hour ago, whenever I got home. Yeah. I have this thing. Limo.
The limo.
Ooh, what else?
This thing's been getting an extensive amount of action this last week or so. Like going through like 2 pinkies a day. Easy.
Like pinky like this or pinky like this?
Pinkies, like the Sammys. Got
No.
this in here.
Gotcha.
From Ulster. I actually rebuilt this the other day. The vape got so bad on this. Like I re-wicked it. They just got dirty so quick one night. I was like, fuck. It was like 2 a.m. I'm like, I can rebuild them. I have to. I want to vape this, but I can't vape it. Yep. So finally rebuilt that. Pissed, Mulciber, high. Yeah. Kennedy, Titan. The matchy tip. I got Kokomo from Coil Vapes. We'll be talking about that later. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
And
Is that it?
Evade, yeah, the Evade is upstairs. It's by my TV. That has abolishment in it. There's an art on top of there. Yeah, fun story about that. I fell asleep with it on my tummy watching TV, and I woke up with some juice on me on my shirt. Yeah,
Get a little Wiccan through that hole.
but yeah. Thanks, wait. Thanks. WrestleMania was last night. I have to do the.
There you go.
Wait, no, now you have to do the get on one knee. I was gonna play it, but last time we got foodled by it. So
There.
Sean Cena is engaged.
Artemad Diaz got a Narda bell cap, almond tip on top, rail cracker inside. And then my other thing, I got a walk from our house a minute ago. Put my red 4, got abolishment in it. Kyle, speaking of Kyle Cena, he sent my my Limelight freehand bat, and so I wicked that up and put some of the Coil Vape stuff in there. So thank you to Dean, by the way, from Coil Vape. He sent over some juice because he's a nice guy. Well, yeah, we can talk about that later. That's fine. But inside here is this one. And that's kind of it. I've got something else we'll talk about in a minute, but that's pretty much what I'm vaping. Sean doesn't vape anymore. Massey?
I am actually vaping. So we got I also got some of the these one in.
Oh, I have
And
some of that too.
okay. All right. First of all, because we're gonna talk about this before we forget. How hard was it to open this fucking bottle?
Okay. Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
Listen, hang on.
20 minutes.
Because
20 minutes
Here's
ago.
the thing. Here's the thing. So, 20 minutes. No. So I get the bottle in. I get that one, and I also got Lime Yo, and I thought it said Slime Yo. I'm like, what? Because of the wording on there. This one smelled good. I vaped some of it, and the lime is just a little too potent right now, so I'm gonna let it chill. This one smelled really good and tasted really good. So I cleaned out my Velocity and put it in there. So I'm sitting there, and I let my wife, she smells the bottle. She's like, "Oh, that smells really good." And I'm like, yeah, let me open it, So I'm sitting there like, going like this, nothing's happening. I'm like, huh, like pushing down on it, fucking nothing's happening. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So I'm grabbing it and I'm like pushing down on it, like the thing's spinning, and my freaking hand slips off and I wham at the counter. I'm like, fuck. And why? So then I see that the ridges are on top of the cap. So then I'm like, okay, let's be smart about this. I start pushing down on the ridges. Well, there's no grip up here, So then I'm like, all right, you know what? Fuck this. So I just grab it and just manhandle the shit out of it. Well, at the same time I was squeezing. As soon as the cap comes off, it's like, so I don't know. I mean, like these are not only child-proof, these are man-child-proof too. So
for dude. I tried that method with the ridge with your hands. It didn't work. Like I pulled out the rubber grips to get like leverage and shit. I put a flathead screwdriver and broke the seal.
Yeah, Paladin Vapes is saying he hates when his hand slips off. Yeah, that's about right. My hand slipping off there. I'm used to that. Yeah, that's about right.
That, by the way, Chad is suggesting instead of pushing down on those bottles to just squeeze the outside.
Let's see.
Instead of pushing here,
just squeeze the outside.
So I did.
Nope.
Yeah, I did
nope.
that.
Squeezing does not do shit because the clips aren't on the outside. The clips are on the top. The top is what comes down and spins it. Fuck you, chat. What do you know about these fucking bottles?
So here's my thing. So even this one, this one took me about like 30 seconds to get open.
Darn it.
Even this one took me 30 seconds to get open, right?
Well, I already knew the deal with that one, so I just took the knife and just fucking chopped the head off.
So I got this one open, and there was a little bit of a struggle. With these bottles, they progressively get worse and more difficult to open.
They're saying slower.
So that's been my experience with Chubby Gorillas. The 120s are, kind of a pain in the ass. When I saw this, I was like,
I'm backwards on your screen, dumbass. Of course I'm doing lefty loosey. I'm done with it. I'm shining out.
Chad,
I think you're right though, because do you
are you
remember
happy, Chad? You failed mast.
when you remember when we first went to the Chubby Gorilla 120s?
Yeah.
The first one that I got, I broke. You remember I was taking it off and I literally snapped the lid off, and the child-proof thingy came off or whatever, and they thought I had a faulty bottle or whatever. But that does make sense what they're saying. You probably have to put some downward pressure, but it's mostly a squeeze, I think, because that would rip the little ribbies on the side.
You guys see Bombi's logo on the bottom there?
The Chubby Gorilla. Hey, I've got Bombies in my news today.
You do?
I do.
I wonder if Bombi uses chubby Bombies. Chubbawambas. So I wasn't done. So after getting this one into this one, I've been vaping on it, and it's pretty good. It's so a little bit on the sweeter side. If some people don't like too sweet, very sweet, but damn, does it smell the room that makes the room smell like really good.
So I already figured out like what food it reminds me of when I smell it. And
what's that?
Taste too. There's a cereal that I used to have, but it is probably the worst offender of fucking up the roof of your mouth out of any cereal in existence. No. Honey Nut O's.
Honey Nut O's?
Yeah, it's in a yellow box. It's got red lettering. They're essentially like Fruit Loop shaped, but they have little like oat clusters like attached to the outside, right? It's
so jagged.
Dude. It's like fucking, you know what it is, Mass? It's like a bowl, like, the rip tire that Junkrat uses in Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that in cereal form. But they're delicious. You just have to let them soak in milk for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if not, they will destroy the roof of your mouth.
They still will. It'll hurt a little less.
You get done and it's like fucking, scarred minefield, jagged edges cut off.
Taste that, and that's what it smells like in the room. Like, I'll go outside, come back in, like I fog the fuck out of my house with these flavors today. So
yeah, this one I fucked the shit out of the room, and
contact diabetes, first floor of my house.
I'm running it at about 70 watts on the Hexome A. And by the way, and also congrats to Craven Vapor for 2 weeks ago, the release. I forgot the release of the wood stab wood hexomes. Pretty crazy looking hexes out there. So I've heard reports of them going for hundreds, and people getting crazy, spending some crazy money on that stuff. So, but if you were at the showcase convention in Atlanta, you could have picked one up. So I feel for all the AT&T IP Flex customers today. Gigant fucking Tantic outage. I could not communicate back to home office. Ben & Jerry's, as you know, is not headquarters in Florida. And my conference calls with them, I mean, I wasted 2 tubs of ice cream because they melted. So I can't put them back in the fridge after I take them out. Yeah.
Well, the crystal structure be on it.
It was. I mean, I have time lapse of it. It's really cool, actually. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen ice cream melt, but it's pretty crazy. So
yeah, you know what else melts? My eyes. I cry when ice cream melts.
Hey,
so
Sean.
So that's what I'm vaping on. So
Sean, what are you vaping on? I was just joking a minute ago.
I don't really vape.
Yeah, you do.
No, he doesn't. That's
The same thing I vape every week.
There you go. That's just like giving you an opportunity to show off your mouth.
This just in, Sean gets muted. We had him for a minute, and I had to go and screw it up.
Way to go, Masty.
Sorry, Sean. I can't help it. You know what? I haven't muted Sean in I don't even know how long.
It's been a long time.
It's been a very long time, and now you hurt my feelings, Sean.
Someone makes a chip of that, please. That was beautiful.
So I'm gonna set up this question because I'd like Mooch to come back to me on this, because what I want to know, and I don't know if this is true or not. Let me unplug this. Do chargers go bad? Now I've had a charger go bad before. My was the IntelliCharger, the i4. That eventually stopped charging well. I don't know why. I just sort of tossed it. Got this thing. This thing's been great for a couple of years. I've had this for quite some time. But I have noticed on this guy, when I throw in one cell in the right slot, it charges at an amp, which is what it's supposed to do. And if you put it in the other side, it's supposed to also charge at an amp. So you've got one on both circuits or whatever, you get the full amperage coming out of it, right? And if you put any in the middle too, it'll drop down to half an amp. Fine, expect that. I have noticed lately though, when I put one in, it's an amp. If I put another one in, it is when I put another one in, it drops down. It'll stay at an amp, and then it'll go down to 3/4, and then it'll go down to half an amp, and sometimes even a little bit less. I've seen like 0.3, 0.4, and it'll charge up the rest of the time. Really super freaking slow. And I have to be honest, we're small a little bit like ozone. So the other thing that I found was weird is I could put them both in and kind of leave the batteries alone, and then when this is plugged in, just give a little contact resistances. That's what I was wondering about, Mooch, because this brick I've had for a while, and I bought it for this thing, and it's both of these outputs are 2.4 amp, which should be enough to power this whole kit and caboodle. But I've noticed that, and I really do. I think Mooch is right. I think it's the contact of either the cable or this or both. But I have tried with other bricks, and it's good. I really do think it's the cable that's gone bad, or the contacts on the cable, which is kind of a bummer.
Dude, I've had the VC4 bug out on me more than a few times over the years.
Yeah.
And a lot of times after a power reset, it'll go back to normal for a couple weeks, and then you just got to power reset it again.
You mean just unplug it by power reset?
Just unplug
let me
it,
ask
plug
you
it back
this.
in.
That is not
Let me
helpful,
ask you this.
unfortunately.
What do you think that you are experiencing that only because your charger outputs those numbers and tells you? Because you know, with the Nightcore, you know, I mean, at least with the older one, you just had bars.
Yeah.
And they would charge until they were full.
It's entirely possible. I consider that as well, right? So it's a little bit of like confirmation bias because I feel it. Well, I don't think so, and here's why I don't think so. Because when I saw that happening, this started happening a couple weeks ago. When I saw it happening, I saw it drop down. It took all day to charge 2 fucking batteries, 2 650s. So I don't think that's the case, but I fully admit that I didn't time it. I just know it took a really long time, longer than normal.
I never really paid that much attention to it because I have one mod and like 20 batteries.
Right.
But yeah, one cell right now is reading just above probably like 0.4, and if I put the other one in, it drops down to 0.2.
Oh shit! Really? That's
No,
way
it's
low.
still out 0.4, then 0.2.
Yeah, that's super low because that should be an amp.
I wonder if I try the middle.
The middle definitely won't. The middle's only half an amp no matter what.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
See, sometimes I suspect my batteries, and to rule a lot of that shit out. Because here's my this is the Nightcore that I use. Right, so it's the old school one.
Yep.
Okay, and it's a a powered plug, right? Because you also have the option to run the 12 volt. But between that, I sometimes will take it, and I also have an adapter for this guy that I throw it on and test it.
Yeah.
So, this Eternity one has a really cool feature that will actually go in when you're using lipos and mods like this.
Mm-hmm.
It will actually display the resistance for each cell. So this is really, really cool. And this guy was only $50-$60.
That's not bad.
You have all the balance charger leads, and as you can see, it's got an XT60 port you can run on, so you can hook it up to your car, or fabricate some shit like this.
Fabric cobble.
So I can use my my power adapter.
Yeah.
They work from 11 to 18 volts.
The new fanciest Nightcore or X-Tar rather, the Dragon. I talked about it on the show a couple of months ago. I actually pulled that up today because I was kind of irritated at my charger. That guy's still running like $88. That thing's really expensive. I think I'm probably just gonna buy another VC4 because they're like $25, and it lasted me a couple of years, and it's
true.
But I mean that Dragon's pretty slick though, because the Dragon's the one that's got USB out, so you can throw, you can charge your phone or whatever from your 650s, which I think is cool. Yeah. And then it also has the power port in the back for the lipo packs, which I probably won't ever use, but it's cool that it's there. And it also had the leads you can do. It's got the multimeter leads, which is kind of neat.
Nice. Yeah, I've been using, talking about charging, and I'm actually using it right now. Let's see if I can get it over there. But I've been using this RAV Power a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Turbo Series. It's the model RP PB043.
Is that like a battery backup sort of thing?
Yep. It's got a, I think it's 20,000 mAh. 74.3 watt hour. But the nice thing is that it uses USB-C to charge back up.
Oh, sweet.
Yes. So this port here,
the one that I've got that's smaller than that is USB, normal USB, like 2.1 or whatever. It's slow as fuck to recharge.
So this USB-C is to recharge. You can also recharge with a normal USB. And the nice thing is you can run both of these ports. And this is a quick charge port, so it's for all the new phones that charge at fucking 3 amps.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have this is a 2.4. So you have a 2.4 and the quick charge port, and you have a battery status light. And yeah, so you can actually, because that's what I'm doing right now. I have baby monitor hooked up to one, and I have my my little Raspberry Pi Game Boy charging. So I have one in each, and the device is charging itself. So it's pretty neat. So
Try
I just picked
try
it
a
up.
different block, Brian.
I did. I tried the iPad block, the larger block for the for Apple, and that one works all right too, as long as you don't fucking touch the cable. Because I think it really is the cable.
It could be because I just swapped off of my block into a direct USB power that's in my desk,
Mm-hmm.
and I jumped up to like 0.9 amp on 2 batteries.
Yeah.
You know, the cables are so crazy nowadays, because like I've been, there's been a lot of, especially, I think it's only going to get worse, and we'll see what Mooch has to say about this. And, it might be something that he can also look into about, USB cables, because there's a guy that went through and did an extensive search and research on USB-C cables, because some of these USB-C cables were destroying devices or had the potential to. And so I think it's only going to get worse as, the newer phones are coming out with USB-C, way more power in these. I mean, sometimes 15 watts through some of these cables. So the cables become, I think, the liability now as we're pushing more power and more amperage through them, because you're bending and fucking moving those cables every day, plugging them in, unplugging them.
Yeah.
So, especially like I always carry my temp gun, and I temp the adapter that I have plugged in on the wall. I like temping stuff. And
Dude, it's so much fun if you ever play with one.
It is. And I check the adapters that I use for overnight charging my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because the wire, one time, just from regular usage, I felt the wire and I'm like, damn, this thing's kind of warm and it shouldn't be, so I swapped the wire and it was fine.
The wire being warm seems to be a problem.
Yes, absolutely. And so what I also started doing is I put it's a free app, I think it's called Amperage, I have an Android on the phone, and it'll tell me, what amperage it's outputting. And yeah, you got a cheap piece of shit cable, you'll notice a difference in the charging rate. So
sure,
that's and those, like I said, those contacts get worn out. So
I just realized that we've been yammering on for like 45 minutes and we haven't actually talked about anything, which is awesome.
We talked a little bit about Juice.
Well, that's true. We did.
Flitz is calling me out. He's talking about my temp gun in my holster. He's seen my holster.
No, that'd be the
temp guns are awesome. Like, which is the one I played? Master, you ever played with the Fluke one?
The Fluke temp gun?
Yeah, it has like a fucking has like a camera on it and shit.
Oh yeah, well,
clear one?
I came this close to getting a, and I might still do it because
I got to play with one of those.
I have some things that I can use it on, but getting the infrared reading, the guns.
Yeah, the FLIR guns.
The FLIR guns, and but they're expensive. There is one that's an attachment to your phone that's got okay resolution, and then I believe the Fluke is the other one. That's pretty good, but they're expensive. They're upwards of $200. So that's something that you want to. You see a lot of people using them when they're doing coils and stuff like that, and it'll actually pinpoint in an area and give you heat. But again, it's not something to be playing around with.
Those are for like building inspectors use those, and
yeah, I mean, and these are smaller, right?
Well,
these are on the smaller end.
Yeah, Desardo had one too that he was playing with for a while.
Yeah, so. But yeah, I the first time I ever experienced one of those thermal cameras was about 10 years ago, and it was the craziest fucking thing because I mean they really just started getting popular and smaller, for the handhelds. At first, I think a few years back the firefighters were the first ones to get them, so they carry them with them now so they can check hotspots and stuff like that, so they don't walk into some crazy shit. But even before that, a lot of the military gun optics were using pretty sophisticated FLIR, and there's a company local here, and a buddy of mine worked on it, and worked at it, and he would get to not necessarily test these, but test something in them, and he was able to bring one home, and it was crazy. You put your hand on the wall for 10 seconds, take it off, and you would look through the scope, and bright as freaking day, there's your handprint. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You want to see some shit as you go outside and just look in down here in Florida, there's fucking bugs everywhere. You start seeing some of the stuff, you start looking through it, you're like, oh shit, there's some definitely heat signatures out there. You walk through the grass, man, with sneakers, and you would see it. Like, it was like out of a movie. I couldn't believe it. So, but again, that was really advanced. Those devices were like $6,000 for the scopes, and because it was infrared mixed with night vision, and but some crazy shit. But they have their uses, and I'm not too sure if like pinpointing on the coil to get heat and stuff like that was, obviously that range is all over the place, but pretty neat. So
talk about juice.
Juice.
Did we already talk about juice?
Well, I mean, I didn't really give a detailed. I mean, I did have some things to say.
Sam,
do it.
It's good. We got this juice today. 12 vapes. They sent. Well, we went over the bottles earlier. They came in this.
Yeah.
I got that one, and I got Kokomo, which you can figure out for yourself. There's probably coconut in it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
So I came home to this, and I've been vaping them since. I vaped this one most of the afternoon and into the evening. I've only been vaping on this for like the last hour and change. Okay, this one is a custard.
Yes, it is.
It's a good custard. It's straightforward, and it's got interesting. It's a vanilla custard. It's got some interesting afternoons, like I mentioned. It tastes like that cereal that I used to eat a while back that fucks up the roof of your mouth like no end. I'm not a custard guy. I mean, I've had through vaping and all of that. There have maybe been like 5 custards or less that I've liked. I like this one. It's not Cozy Custard good. Cozy Custard, I think, is like the best fucking one ever made, to be honest.
But we remember when we talked about Cozy Custard, it was not a normal custard, right? It was less sweet, more eggy, interesting thing.
It was just less in your face, and Brett is already like the man when it comes to, dense but not at the same time not overpowering flavor.
Right.
So, can you hold that bottle back up? Cat Dumpling says it looks like urine, like a urine sample.
Oh, this one?
I guess.
Where's my focus?
Is that Rocky and Bullwinkle in the front? Oh no, just right.
It does kind of look like a urine sample.
I'm not sure I understand the coconut and the moose, really.
Kokomo.
Kokomo. His name is Mo.
Well, I'm vaping on Kokomo right now, and it's just like coconut. I think there's mocha is what they're referring to. If I had to guess, because I get kind of like that dark mocha-y. This one's even lighter than this one. This one is actually pretty good. I'm liking it so far. But this one's good. It's a little on the sweeter side, but I like it. I like it for the same reasons that I like Cozy Custard, and that compared to most other ones I've had, this is actually pretty light.
Yeah,
it doesn't leave an aftertaste.
It leaves a little bit of one, but it's
a little, but not.
I think it's a nice one.
Yeah.
I think it leaves a nice aftertaste. My thing is, what I hate is when juices leave too much of an aftertaste in your nose, and there are some that do that. Like the Philip Rock. The Philip Rock that I love does that, and I hate it, but it's so fucking good. I'll look the other way on that. But yeah, I'll probably have more to say about this next week. But I might like this one more. I
didn't get that one, but on this one, to me, I think it's a custard, and it needs some resting, some steeping, some aging. Because to me, the vanilla is a little sharp, but it's fresh. It's just, it's fresh out the mail, and you don't typically vape custards like that. So
So
I vaped the whole skunk bottle here, and I'll probably continue, finish this off. But I think I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit and see how it do after a week or two.
yeah, it felt a little tangy to me. I'm also vaping it much. Okay, so you got tangy because I'm like, I know you vape pretty warm, relatively warm. So I vaping both these on the Kennedy parallels. You know the whole bit. It's that kind of juice. Vapor production's good. Yeah.
No, it's a solid juice. It's a solid juice. I just think it needs a little steeper.
I was just pleasantly surprised. I haven't been sent 2 dessert juices from. I mean, I don't know dude particularly well, but I was very impressed because you know me, I'm a stickler, and I'm probably more judgy of dessert flavors than anything else. So,
Ooh, what else?
What else? Damn it, you beat me.
now I have to put it in chat.
Oh, do it.
So, I'm assuming that neither of you have any other news.
No, I got news.
Okay.
No, you talking about? No, but you go first.
Yeah. No,
Okay. I feel like.
do it.
So, it was brought to my attention the other day. Some stuff, and well, fuck. I'll get right to it. We have a very special episode of Crucifixions.
Been a while.
We're back.
Oh,
We're back. We're back. We're back.
Yes. Do you need some background music? Okay.
What was their fucking jam for Crucifixions?
I don't know, but I got it. Go ahead.
Wait, I'm getting the fucking screen share ready.
Is it low enough?
Nah, probably not, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, we'll go lower.
There you go. Food just needs to start talking, that's all.
Yeah, start talking.
Application window. Okay.
You do that.
All right.
I'll set it up. We've got a very special friend. They created a very special juice.
Let's shop now.
And named it after a certain Fubaka.
Oh yeah, let's go look it up.
Huh?
Whoa!
What the fuck is that?
What?
What the fuck is that?
Dude, they
fuck is
copied
that?
down. They copied down to the fucking font.
What
Down
the
to the
fuck is
book.
that?
No, down to the cloud, which is what gets me. It's the same name.
I know that's the one that belongs to the cloud corner, right?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Fuck. You know what I hate? I don't have an actual bottle of Fuju handy. I thought I did, but it was a bottle of fucking Halo.
No,
You see this shit?
it's a bunch of shit's what it is. And the store's right down the way. Like he lives near him. It's the same profile, same cloud, same name.
So, yeah, I went and informed the appropriate party, which is my friend, Senor Crescent City. This is his swag, and it's being jacked.
Cajun Batman.
And someone noticed this, and they're like, "Wait," they're like, "Is this you?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm the Fu in Fuju, so who the fuck is you, man?"
Who the fuck is Jew?
So, yeah.
The appropriate measures have been taken, I think, but
Yeah, I asked, and the situation's being handled, but I thought
We were all like,
I thought I'd share this tale of heartbreak with y'all because
Share that dude's disclaimer because that's the best part of the story.
yes, thank you for reminding me, Sean. Thank you. But wait, there's more.
Sean
Ooh,
redeems
what else?
himself.
Oh God, yeah, dude, the FA. Okay, wait, where is it? Shop about FAQ.
This is great.
Can we get some My Heart Will Go On? Have that handy?
There we go. No, I don't have My Heart Will Go On because that's really gonna fucking get us banned.
No, we never got banned for that, dude. The recorder one.
Oh, yeah. Well, whatever. I'm trying to find you.
Okay,
something.
so you see these big questions here in the bold. I haven't seen it yet. Oh, okay. Look, check this shit out.
Here we go.
There were some legal issues with the naming of your e-liquids because if you go on the website and see the rest, those are all Crescent City flavors, dude. There were some legal issues with the naming of your e-liquids. What's your take on this? How did it turn out? Was it a big roadblock? As in any business, there are people who try to bully others under the guise of protecting their intellectual property. The strangest incident was concerning the ownership. Oh, dude, this shit goes tight with the beat. Concerning the ownership of one of our e-liquids names. We've gotten flack from people that assert their legal ownership of the combination of a color and a fruit as a name. We were flabbergasted, but we found our own creative way to keep the product in line and our creative vision intact. There are no problems with this business, only solutions.
That would have been okay if he would have meant that as like a chemistry joke, the solutions thing.
Yeah,
but he didn't. He was just being a just being a.
Well, that's the realistic dickish part of this. Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I've been known to copy other people's flavors and stuff, and legal issues aside, if there's no legal leg to stand on, I don't give a shit.
Why the hell would you put that up there?
There's still a common decency.
Shame, shame, shame. I know your name.
Shame,
Now,
dang.
if
Shame.
Not get away with this, mister.
If that one thing was accurate, then I can kind of see that. If you're gonna call something blue raspberry,
Sure,
something, right? That's okay. I can see that argument. It's kind of a normal
Do
word.
you remember my analogy last time we talked about naming shit and doing shit with other people's shit?
No.
My example from American Gangster, the scene with him and Cuba Gooding Jr. He's like, it's like, because the name of his product in the movie is Blue Magic. He's like, you're taking my Blue Magic and you're cutting it down and selling it for cheap or whatever. He's like, you are infringing my copyright.
Anyway, so that guy's a jerk face.
Stop it.
Stop it. Oh look, Crescent City Clouds is in chat.
No snap.
No snap.
Which one of you flashed the bat signal?
I don't know.
I think I know who it was.
Anything else?
I would just like to add that if you're
It was-
FAQ,
It was me. Shit.
Just so y'all know, if you see that Fuju, that is not the Fuju. The Fu from the Fuju is telling you that is not the Fu from Fuju.
just
I am the
I know,
wonder.
if your FAQ legitimately has allegations of you stealing other people's shit in it proudly, I encourage any vapor to not buy from that company.
And look, here's my assessment of the situation. It's even shittier because it's in the same town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
So-
I hope Chris goes over there and kicks him in their Kung Luns.
So Godspeed to Chris that the right thing happens, and
Go
Yeah.
get him, Chris.
because y'all remember why I stopped doing crucifixions in the first place, but this
Just went above the line.
you can't fuck with the Fuju. Fuck with the Fuju.
Can't buy class foo.
Someone
Can't
told me
buy
they
it.
were fucking with the Fuju.
I love that.
Anyway.
Anyway, let's bust out a couple of these things.
Let's go up the real talk for the evening. That was
Yeah.
What have you got anything else? Because I got a couple things I want to mention before we get to our
What
guest.
else? No, that's it. I mean, juice.
Do it.
Got the juice. Thank you, Dean. Very kind person. Juice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sharing a window. I saw a thing in the Reddits. This is by a gentleman by the name of Bombies, which you may remember from such early Plumes episodes.
He was on our intro today.
That's true. Well done. So he posted this thing. It's about California Prop 56. And the short of it is, in-state purchases, there's a 27.3% tax. What?
Bananas.
The thing that's interesting, and it's wholesale, by the way, 27.3 on wholesale. But the thing that's kind of I thought was worthy of being called out is California residents placing orders through Bigglesworth Labs, our friend Mr. Bigglesworth, Bombies and Predator. They will see no price change on their end, effective immediately. Bombay's Automatic and its subsidiaries will absorb 27.3% tax to its entirety. And he goes on to say a bunch of other information about the law, what it means, things that you're going to need if you're in California and you make the juice. But I thought that was cool enough to call out because, well, we like Bombay's, we like Bigglesworth, and we'll call them out and give them props for doing that.
On a $30 bottle, that's $8.40 almost.
Well, it's on wholesale.
28%.
It's on
Well,
wholesale.
I know. I'm just saying.
Or
Okay, so your $30 purchase of whatever.
Then, but yeah, that's true. No, it's not insignificant. That's why I thought it was cool. Yeah,
it's fucking insane.
It's insane. So that's neat. Buy stuff from Bombay's.
Because chat brought up a thing that is probably worth addressing. With a 500% markup, swallowing the tax is easy. And I would ask you, Rob S., if you have a juice company.
I'm going to yes. The answer is no.
Believe it or not, while there are margins there, and juice is a pretty high margin product, there's also staff and keeping the lights on and all this other shit that does not make taking 30% off of your bottom line easy.
No.
There's a lot more that goes in. It's not like this is some guy mixing juice in his basement, right? Like if that's the case, he loses 30%, it costs him nothing. This is a guy with a big facility, machines, employees with benefits.
Ooh.
He's got to pay. He's now losing 30%, right? Like that's not. Oh, they're dropping a bucket. I make so much money, it's easy. That's not accurate in the juice game, really. Like, at least not in the juice made by quality people thing.
We all can't drive Maseratis, dude.
There's fucking exactly, but there's a lot more that goes into it if you want to do it right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. Like,
it's accurate, and also Bombay's is one of the most competitively priced, especially the Predator line. Holy crap. That stuff is super inexpensive.
It's like what, $7 a 30, $8 a 30,
something like that in retail. So I mean, that's anyway. So let's move on quickly to the next thing. Our buddy Rick from modmaker.co.uk released Squonker bottles. So we've been talking about a lot of Squonker bottles lately. He's got his own Squonker bottles coming out with a cool gnarly cap. Which would be, even if it's slick with e-liquid or whatever, you can easily take it apart. I haven't tried these yet, but I wanted to show them to you because they do exist and they are in stock. And you can buy a 10-pack and you can buy a 100-pack even if you wanted, which I think is cool too. And they're they're very competitively priced compared to the super softs. So not too long ago, there was a big shortage. Like people couldn't even find regular super softs at Rio's and Rio Mods and a lot of other places were sold out. I think it's really good that we've got another bottle on hand. Rick says that these are similar in size to the super soft, but a little bit softer, which is good because the super softs are kind of not accurately named when you've got silicone options on the market, which are super, super soft. These are somewhere between, but they are the price is about unbeatable. It's fantastic. So go buy some cool bottles from Rick. I started to say something else, but I'm gonna close this window instead and say this. Well, you know what? I'm gonna kind of give a shout out before you go on to the next thing. I saw another thread on Reddit, and this was a few days ago, but this guy posted. This is a shit post, but what little thing pisses you off most in vaping? Not big things, but little things. Like what little thing? And I wanted to call out our friend Battery Mooch because he stole one of our lines.
I'm feeling that really strongly right now because I'm dumb and reading chat. And people are morons.
So I just thought that was funny. I figured I'd call that out.
So let me make an analogy without going too far into it. Like you have all of us have jobs. And for the most part within those jobs, we're relative-ish experts in the field that we're in without saying the field that we're in, be it ice cream making or horse breeding or whatever the case may be.
Testing shocks on small import cars.
Sure. One of the most annoying things in the world to me is when someone who has no idea what that job pertains to tries to pretend like they're an expert and they know better than everybody else. It just pisses me off to all hell. And that's what's happening in chat right now because people are stupid.
But hang on. We are the Plumes of Hazard. And yes, we do have 2 juice lines. That would be Poe Juice and Deadline. But guess what we also do? We have people that come on the show and teach you how to make your own juice.
We do.
We hardly ever talk about our juice or try to pimp it on the show. Okay, most of the time we're checking out other people's juice. And
We've
guess
also
what?
had a good 50 some probably juice vendors on the show to talk about the costs and responsibilities of operating a real legitimate business.
Yeah, and this is good. I mean, people have, they're entitled to their opinion in chat and even on the show. But just remember, guys, that it's not left or right or center here. It's wide open. So we've had people who teach you how to make your own juice if you want to make it. We've had industry experts. We've had people who have been running companies before a lot of us had been vaping. It's all there.
We've had people come on and tell us how they make spinners.
Yeah, I would also just like to throw it out that every industry average is not product value times 3 for overhead manufacturing, because you're looking at, from an industry perspective, you're looking at cost to manufacture, then you're looking at wholesale cost, then you're looking at retail cost in most industries. It's not cost to manufacture times 3. This T-shirt probably cost 50 cents, and I paid $8 for it or $12 for it or some shit. That's not close to times 3.
I don't
This
think
T-shirt should be $1.50 by that logic.
Well, there's a Russell Peters bit.
I'm just saying that's not times 3 is not how pricing works. Now, times 2 or times 3 wholesale to retail is absolutely how pricing works. That's how markets work. Not from manufacturer to retail, though. Times 3 is not accurate in any industry.
I mean, I have to have the times 3 people to run my nail salon. So, shit, they're taxing the hell out of that all the time.
This isn't even a brand name T-shirt. This is some cheap ass T-shirt I bought from Amazon.
Here's the problem. Okay, I'm telling you, if you're making juice and your juice is good and you're getting into business with it, don't do it. It's too fucking late. The snatch and grab in the vaping community is been and gone. Bye-bye. The train has disappeared.
Wait, are we having another fucking... I haven't really been paying attention, but were we talking about another fucking everything in vaping's overpriced?
There's no question that making your own juice, even starting a small little company, doing your own juice, is going to be way cheaper than a $30 bottle of juice. Okay, at retail, even wholesale.
Well,
but guess what?
Here's the thing: you also haven't factored in marketing at all, and like this whole discussion.
You haven't factored anything. You talk to someone like Bombies who did it right and started out small. I mean, we've brought him on the show, and we'll fucking bring him back if we have to. And Bigglesworth will attest to this. Started out small, started building it up, in one of the worst states to fucking start this business in. Okay, let's be honest, and just invested so much time and money. I mean, was on the fence about leaving his real job, to do this, and he put 110% into it. And look where Bombies is now, because he put so much money and time into it. So those returns don't come at the end of the year. Those returns don't come for 2 or 3 years. From all the money in bottling and manufacturing and getting the flavors in. So, and hey, again, you do or don't. You can make your own juice. You can start your own company, do it. I mean, that's fine too. But just know that there is a lot of cost that goes into this stuff. So I'm not saying, you're gonna have people saying, oh, but this e-liquid that is made overseas is 50 cents, for a 30 mil. So how can they, well, there you go. I mean, there's always going to be cheaper juice. Vape it. We're not saying don't.
Right.
So
yes.
don't.
Feel free. But at the same time, you can't expect somebody that set up a business to just swallow a 30% tax just for giggles.
I mean, I didn't fucking work. I didn't work for a corporate
and to
company
go
or anything.
Just based on some of the chat stuff, to go into Poe, because people are talking about Poe and saying how they think it's funny that we're juice manufacturers. We're not. But we're directly, well, we are and we aren't. We're directly involved with every factor of our business, which is a legitimate business. Like, we have a real business.
And even if we weren't, we've talked to enough people that actually do own businesses
Exactly.
over the years to kind of know at least kind of what we're talking about.
I mean, we were involved in pricing. We were involved in everything there was to be involved about our juice and figuring out how that works. And we've talked to enough other people who do the same thing and about how they have to price shit to keep their doors open.
Right. I work for a fucking juice company that was owned by Big Tobacco.
You did it.
The funny thing, yeah, it's true. The funny thing is too is when arguments like this come up, because I agree with Mazdy. If you want to DIY something, you go right ahead and you can do it for pennies on the dollar. There's no argument about that. You absolutely can. So that said, on the side of that,
we just bring fucking Alex in, Jesus.
On the side of that is, I think it's funny when we start having this kind of a discussion with people, where all of a sudden we get into like this crazy anti-capitalist thing, like it turns
into a
like
fucking Reddit thread, dude.
Like it's like evil for somebody to start up a business and address demand with their product. It's crazy. That's the way America works. And if the market won't bear it because it's too expensive, then nobody will buy it.
Last time I checked, 5 Ponds is still doing pretty good though, and they're $30 30 mil or something.
The mustache is still waxed.
The mustache is still waxed. Okay, last thing before let's get off of this thing. So the last thing before we bring in our guest, I do want to mention Capacity Gate. Because something, I found this kind of interesting. So last week I showed a couple pictures about a couple of bottles that I took a shitty little 1 milliliter syringe and filled it up and saw that some of the common bottles that we use don't hold what they're labeled, right? The old Super Softs are always labeled 8.5 milliliters. They don't hold anywhere close to that. The Cappy 8.5 milliliters they don't even hold 7 milliliters, and that's with no bottle, no tubes or anything in there. So it was interesting to me more than anything, right? So I posted this thing at the behest of Sean, said I should post an SP. I posted an SP. And I was shocked. Not shocked might be a strong word. I was surprised to see so many people that just don't care. So I understand some of the reasons by it, saying that it doesn't affect them because like their bottles inside their mod, and when it's empty, they just fill it, right? So they don't care if it holds, 6.5. Whoa! My document just freaked out. Are you doing that?
No.
I really wish I could share my screen right now. That's awesome. Anyway, sorry. My doc just totally. Anyway, so I understand what they're saying, that it doesn't really affect them whether or not it holds 25% less than it says it does. But the thing is that to me, it bothers me when you're selling something that's labeled with a volumetric measurement and you're buying it based on that measurement because you want it to be this size and hold this much stuff for your mod. If it doesn't actually hold that, that's just weird. That's kind of all there is to it. And what it kind of came out after some discussion with it is I think what happened is the Super Softs came out and they were labeled 8.5, and then some of the other bottles came out afterwards and they said, well, ours is basically the same size as the 8.5, so we're just going to call it an 8.5 milliliter bottle, even though it doesn't hold that and it doesn't really matter. So I think what needs to probably happen is people that are selling bottles that are shaped like this, we just need to call them medium bottles or something that's not an actual number with measurements, because if we don't, then we're redefining what measurements mean, and that's stupid because it's a standard a milliliter is a milliliter. If this is supposed to hold, if it's 6, who cares? If it's 10 like Masty's or whatever, who cares? Just call it what it is.
Yeah, 9. But that's what these are called. These are called 9 mil.
Right. Does it hold 9 mil? Have you ever checked?
I'm still angry about this.
Yeah.
No.
So Sean and I both would like to say thank you, and just for the interest of time, we're going to go fast. The gentleman that runs Lucos Mods, his name is Luca. He posted, actually, he added me after that thread got started overnight, and I ended up talking to him. This guy is super cool. So these bottles that he's putting out, he actually released a statement saying these bottles, which he had previously already said hold 6.8 mil. He said they hold 6.8 mil, and if you put the bottle tube and stuff in there, they hold effectively like 6 or 6.1. I forget what it was. But he addressed it to the community, and I thought that was really cool. And he's not the only one, because Rick, modmaker.co.uk, whom we just talked about a minute ago, also tested his bottles and released the same numbers. So there was 2 that replied, and I thought that was cool to just be clear, because again, nobody cares if it's 8.5 milliliters or 6 milliliters. We just want to know. That's all.
Yes.
Just tell us.
that's the thing. Like, I care that it hasn't been what they said it was.
Yeah.
Because I think that's shitty. And, you know, in that thread, someone had commented like, hey, maybe it was just an oversight on behalf of the bottle makers. And I'm like, hey, maybe it was. Maybe there was a confusion, maybe something happened, whatever, and that's cool. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, the only people who came forward were Rick and Luca. And Luca was the least, he was the closest anyway out of all of them, really. So the only people who came forward and corrected the mistake were two guys, meaning those will be the bottles that I use.
Yeah, going forward. By the way, DIY or Die just joined. By the way, if you're a DIY person, go check out his YouTube channel. He's got all kinds of good shit out there to tell you how to make your own juice pennies on the dollar.
This has been Bottlegate with Bodily Gooch.
Bodily Gooch. All right, done. So the last thing I want to talk about is I got an email this morning, and it was from Casa, our friends at Casa.
Well, does Mast have anything first?
Oh, sorry, Masty. I apologize. You're right.
Well, yeah, just something real quick. I just wanted to put up this picture.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And this is an ad in the paper. This is not a Photoshop that says, "Hey, tried everything to quit smoking. Researchers are studying a novel approach to smoking cessation that involves the use of a psychedelic in a safe, supportive setting." Johns Hopkins, right there in the center, is conducting these trials, and you can do www.smoking-insight.org. Volunteers will receive no monetary compensation. Principal investigator Matthew W. Johnson, PhD. And it's got a phone number to call. So, hey, fuck vaping. Now we're going into psychedelics. So, opening up a shop with my boy Josh here. So
that legitimately sounds way more fun.
Johns Hopkins Medicine. That's around you, Sean. Jeez.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure yep, Johns Hopkins Medicine. There it is.
Well, I don't know. You don't know. You never know. Freaking healthcare systems spread like freaking disease.
So, yeah, I honestly wonder what kind of psychedelics they're using, but it doesn't fucking matter.
You want to vape some mushrooms, Mast?
All right, there you go. That's it. That's all I got.
Some mushrooms. All right, sorry, Masty. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was trying to get to our guest.
We're good.
So I did get a call to action this morning from Casa, and I did it. And then I started thinking about it. I started reading a little bit more about it, and I figured, I should reach out to Alex and see if this is that big of a big deal. And he said, yeah, this actually might make sense to come by and talk. So he came. He offered to come on the show. So everybody, welcome to Mr. Alex Clark, Esquire from Casa.
AKA Big Sexy, AKA Big Sexy Voice, AKA Code Name Salt and Pepper.
AKA he's a mensch. That's what Alex is.
The plan is we're just going to let you talk because that'll raise our viewership.
It's going to raise a few other things, too.
The humidity, if you will.
Anything I can do for the cause.
Dicks out for Casa. So this thing, we have heard, and we've been trying to beat on this drum, so to speak, for a while, that everybody keeps talking about this particular Cole Bishop amendment and how it's dead and it doesn't really matter and whatever. But here it is again, and this call to action is at least phrased, and I assume you wrote it like this on purpose, that it's phrased to kind of positively, possibly. So you want to tell us what it's about?
Sure. So to clear up, I think, some of the confusion that you're talking about with Cole Bishop being dead and whatnot, just to give some background, and I don't want to, I hopefully am not going to put everybody to sleep with this, but
I wouldn't be opposed to falling asleep to you talking.
Everybody curl up, get your blanket.
Now you're Sean's excuse for him checking out.
I'm sorry. I would be remiss if I didn't say I am all for letting Johns Hopkins dose me to see if it'll get me to quit smoking.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The idea of tripping in a lab sounds like, I don't know, that it could be.
You can dose me, Alex.
So anyway, I digress. So the background on the Cole Bishop Amendment was, we've been working on this since before last summer. I mean, the Cole Bishop Amendment was part of the appropriations budget bill, in late spring of last year. And you know, a lot of some of us, a bunch of us actually from all the organizations got together and talked about what the next steps were going to be. And this was sometime in like June. And there was talk of, you know, when's the big push going to be? When do we really need to get the word out there? And the consensus was sort of sometime, you know, if it doesn't happen in the next month, it's going to happen in September. And in July, I actually went around Pennsylvania and met with some lawmakers, and staff had told me that they were looking at possibly September. And if we didn't see it in September, we're talking about February, maybe March, maybe early April. And it was the election that kind of screwed things up and got the budget kind of kicked down the road a bit to where we are now.
Right.
So we get into 2017, and the intel that everybody is getting says that we're not going to be talking about the Cole Bishop Amendment, not likely in this budget. And so that's when HR 1136 was introduced as a standalone bill, possibly to go into the 2018 budget. I don't really know. As a standalone bill, HR 1136 isn't going to do anything. That's the sense that everybody has. That's the belief. But it does allow representatives to sign on as co-sponsors and publicly demonstrate their support for that language. Well, here we are. It's April. I know I'm kind of jumping around a bit, but this is what it's been like for all of us. So it's April, and we are getting word from all of our sources saying that all the appropriations bills are being considered for an omnibus budget. And we're in the agricultural appropriations bill. So the Cole Bishop language, the Cole Bishop Amendment, is in the appropriations bill, and the House is expected to kind of sign off on all of this and pass it on to the Senate. But in order to make that happen, we need to make sure that our language stays in and that the Senate is also aware of the language. And there's been an effort to, in kind of specific districts, I shy away from saying targeted because that gets the anti-gun people in an uproar, but there have been specific senators that us and VTA are focusing on, and you know, making connections with them and sending them, getting them connected with people that can make this argument effectively and get them to support changing the predicate date. So all of this stuff has been happening for like the past couple of months. And now that we know that things have to move in April, I mean, this has to get done by April 28th. We're either going to see a budget bill moving forward, or we're going to see a continuing resolution that doesn't have any of the riders in it, which is going to be a pain in the ass. Never fear, there are other irons in the fire. You know, if we don't get included in the budget this year, our focus quickly shifts to some sort of administrative relief, which is a lot of the stuff that people have probably seen regarding letters to Tom Price. There was the big kind of coalition letter that we signed on to with AVA, SFATA, and VTA, urging Tom Price to delay the regulations for 2 more years. And then, you know, we have our own kind of letter writing engagement out there. We're actually asking people to, you know, put pen to paper and write. And, you know, if you're a shop that's been participating in that and it has like a little stand set up to have your customers write letter, keep doing that. You know, it's always good to have options to fall back on. And depending on what happens in the next, I mean, for us, depending on how much noise we make over the next week, you know, we'll see what happens.
Sure. So
did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, I think so. So the short of it is we've got, I think you said we have less than a week to really bother our various representatives to get them educated and get, you know, just let your voice be known, and hopefully this can make it through. Now, if the Cole Bishop, and you'll have to remind me because it's been a while about which one this is. Cold Bishop one is the one that can change the predicate date, or it does change the predicate date?
It effectively modernizes the predicate date from, for products newly deemed as tobacco by the FDA. It moves that predicate date to the date in which they were deemed tobacco, which for us is August 8th, 2016.
Right, which would include, a huge swath of useful gear, boards, atomizers, e-liquid.
Yep.
That would help all that stuff. So, and do I remember that the Cold Bishop was the one that had a lot of battery specific talk as well, or is that a different one?
Nope, that's Cold Bishop. And I am curious to see what happens with HR 1136. It's my thought. I don't exactly know the process by which it happens, but it's my thought that the language from 1136 would be substituted for the current Cold Bishop amendment.
Okay.
The Cold Bishop amendment just kind of plainly stated that the FDA has to come up with a rule for battery standards. And the problem with that was that it still leaves the FDA some room to say, well, now you've got to be using this specific type of battery, or for example, your device has to have a certain type of battery protection in it. And there's that sort of, I don't know if it's a conundrum or a catch-22, but if you're going back and requiring mod makers to change their devices, well, now they're introducing a new product and they would have to go through the PMTA anyway. So the battery standards language could have been a problem, but the HR 1136, the battery standard language changed to kind of exempt mod makers from having to submit a PMTA in order to update their battery stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's good.
What if you know a guy like Mooch? He's a battery standard.
Well,
seriously, if they're ever open to like whatever, it's like just that guy. I know where he lives, kind of. Just talk to him. He knows batteries.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, if he really needs to be any busier than he is. But I suppose, ascension. Yeah, I suppose that he will have no shortage of work going forward, getting people's stuff up to code.
And then he's going to need an intern. Can you imagine?
A fleet of interns.
Yeah.
Or is it a gaggle of interns?
And the interns will go on the Ideal show.
Would it be a flock?
Flock?
Like pigeons, maybe?
No, I'd like to think of it as a gaggle of interns.
Gaggle. It'd be like geese. Or what was it? Crows or a murder?
A murder of interns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a council of owls, I think. Now we're turning this into a nature show.
It's a murder of interns.
You know what? Somebody just brought up in chat that I hadn't thought about.
What?
Maybe Alex knows more about this. The New Zealand win.
Yeah. That was actually going to be the next thing I asked him.
They had a pretty big win, I think.
I thought it was an April Fool's thing. I'm not gonna lie, because it came out the other day.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Actually, I gotta double check. I'm pretty sure it was from New Zealand. The article that I posted on our main page. Yes. So yeah, New Zealand is allowing for e-cigarettes with containing nicotine to be sold in New Zealand. I haven't looked deeply at the official what this means for New Zealand law. I have a hard enough time keeping up with U.S. stuff. So
well, and I saw a video that had that was an Australian council member or something. I'm not sure how their government structure works, but he was making a call and things and referencing that. He's like, our brothers in New Zealand or whatever he said, those jerk bags in the islands just beat us to it. We need to get on the ball. Well, the funny thing was, I thought he was talking about how the rest of the civilized world, including England, and he referenced the U.S. has got no problem with these things, and they're going right through. I was like, that's not really true.
Well, no, here's the thing though. New Zealand, for those who don't know, New Zealand is pretty fucking heavy, like police station, at least with their policies on drugs and such.
Yeah.
From what I've read and have talked to people from there, so from a culture standpoint, it's huge. At least from what I've gathered, that they said no.
Yeah, the the article that I linked to had a video in it, and I tracked down the video on YouTube and actually tweeted out a picture of the transcript so people could see that. I guess it's a member of parliament that got up and spoke, and he said, something to the effect of, the way that public health people are talking about these products now, when are we going to look back at that and demand some accountability? Will there be punishment for that?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we've I think consciously kind of strayed away from putting that point out there. But I think about this all the time, and I've spoken about it a lot, is that this week somebody's going to find out that they've got X amount of time to quit smoking, or they're going to find out that if they had only quit smoking a week ago, that the whatever disease or cancer or whatever they've got would have been treatable, and they could have avoided the next 10 years of agony or the next 6 months. So all of this messaging out there, dissuading people from picking up smoke-free alternatives, all of the policy that's out there, the tax bills in California and Pennsylvania, indoor use bans everywhere that are treating these products as dangerous as smoking. All of that is telling people who are a week away from a point of no return that you should not switch to a smoke-free product. You should you should try and fail again and do more damage to yourself.
Well, gotta keep the system rolling.
Yeah, that's the stuff that, for as criminal as everybody has painted the tobacco companies, these, self-appointed guardians of public health are actually, they've got a substantial amount of blood on their hands right now.
Sure.
So it was actually kind of, I thought that out of all of the discussion about New Zealand, that comment coming from a lawmaker in New Zealand was probably, that had the most punch with me.
You'd like the just part of you would like to think that would happen.
I'm a rah fuck the man kind of guy. So
how was that taco salad, by the way?
Oh, it's delicious.
Nice.
They always do a good job.
I have something specific else for Alex at the moment.
Does that have anything to do with potatoes?
Do we have anything else that we need to get? Anything that you want to talk about, Alex?
August8th.org.
Go there. Go there. Come out there.
Everywhere. What's that?
Go to that website.
Yep, August8th.org. Put that URL everywhere.
What's wrong with Casad.org? That one's easier to spell.
Yeah, but August 8th should be seared into everybody's brain by now.
Yeah, that's probably.
And if you go to Casad.org, you just get our front page, and you have to scroll down to see stuff. August8th.org is like, here's the deal, information, click, send, and
right.
boom.
And as always, it's could not be easier to contact your representatives through either August 8th or through Casad.org. They even they've even got a freaking letter written for you. You can change it. And I usually modify mine to say something to the nature of, I've been doing this for a long time, and if you'd like any other information or education, please contact me. Here's my phone number, and that kind of thing. And then I'll send it on, because what's there is effective and concise and not terribly wordy. So
yeah, that's great. I encourage everybody to put take a paragraph, put your story in there. They need to hear, personalized stories.
Yeah.
I just remember. Well, I remember this earlier today, but today, 4 years vaping for this guy.
Nice. Well done.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
I'll be honest, it hasn't been a tobacco-free 4 years.
Did you start before or after me?
He started before both of us, because you and I both started relatively quickly in the next month or two, I think.
Yeah, a lot of the people I know started around me.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because it went Fu, and then you, and then me. I was June 9th.
I think Lab Rat, he also started around the same time I did. We didn't know each other yet, but we started vaping around the same time.
Oh shit! So that means I'm about a month or two away from being 4 years. To
see, thank you, Flitz. I just want to bet with myself. 4 years, that's cute. Of course, I knew he was going to say something about how long he's been vaping. Back in my day, we vaped 36 milligram, and his day is today.
Wait, how's it go? With all of us combined, we have 56 years of vaping experience.
Yeah,
man. Plumes of Hazard has you beat. Together. All right. So,
clout.
Not to go too far off before we end. What I want to end on is just refresh or reinforce, the takeaway, Alex. What's the action item for anybody who watches this right now?
Contact your lawmakers. You can do it through august8th.org and urge them to support the Cole Bishop language in the U.S. budget for 2017.
And if I'm right, there's a very short amount of time that they have to do this, right?
Yeah, this damn week.
Yeah. So do it this week. Absolutely. The Congress goes on spring break after Thursday, end of business Thursday. They're on spring break, which I'm sure part of it is beach balls and lounging at the pool, but the rest of it is in district. So there is another opportunity, in the sort of the 2 weeks that follow this week, to contact your lawmakers in their district, and when that becomes important, I will send out those phone numbers so that you can call them at their district offices, and some of you can probably arrange meetings. Especially business owners, they love to hear from people that make money,
and also sign up for email alerts from CASA because they're very fucking valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that there's a Maryland one too now.
There is. What is it? HB 523 is going to be. It's not really a hearing. It's kind of technically it's a hearing, and that's tomorrow. This is weird. I've been trying to kind of wrap my head. Everybody's been trying to wrap their head around this bill for weeks now. It's a licensing bill. And the way it's set up is like, if you're a vape shop owner, right, and you buy direct from manufacturer and you store stuff on site, you would actually have like 3 different licenses that you would have to apply for. One is like a wholesaler that as a wholesaler, you would sell it to yourself as a distributor. As a distributor, you'd sell it to yourself as a retailer. Some crazy nonsense like that. That's not really what it's going to end up being, but that's kind of part of the language problem with this bill. They did manage to take out some language that would prohibit online sales, but they left other language in there that says if you're importing from out of state, you have to be like the registered brand agent or the brand owner in the state of Maryland, which is, to me, that still reads like a consumer can't order products online from an out-of-state vendor.
Not to mention, it reads like single shops will have sole distribution rights for one specific brand, which is, that's happened in Maryland before, and I can tell you from experience of that happening here that it was very bad for both the brand and the consumer.
Oh, yeah. I know that too.
When only one store or one chain of shops is allowed to use, it's bad for the consumer and for the juice manufacturer. So if you're in Maryland, go to CASA's site, find that call to action. If you're not in Maryland and anywhere else, go to august8th.org, and for fuck's sake, sign up for CASA so you get the email updates, because they're really fucking important.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I get almost all of my advocacy news now, from Alex's updates, and he painstakingly crafts those and sends them to people.
Yeah.
So
I wish that were true this morning. I actually screwed up pretty bad. I ended up sending out people's for the representative. You got the right U.S. representative, but the phone number went to your state rep. So I apologize. I sent that out to 122,000 people this morning. I'm really sorry.
Well, you're only connecting to like 16 of them right now.
I just to get a giant membership. Attached to every one of these emails needs to be a dubbed voice message of the same thing done by you.
Oh, I actually had a great idea concerning Alex's voice. Aside from, the Alex Clark soundboard was one idea I had. I know you'd totally be down for that. But I think last time you were on, you said your wife was a painter, right? Or she likes to paint.
Yeah, that's one of her
So
many talents.
she needs to do Bob Ross style painting, except you're narrating it. I was gonna say overdub Bob Ross, but then you would die. Like lightning would strike, and it would kill you if you overdub Bob Ross. So if you figure if your wife likes to paint, you can go and do some Bob Ross shit on that.
I just want to click.
I'm going to pitch that idea to her, by the way. So
I really do want to.
I think it would be a really funny, like 3-minute short.
Oh yes, I really want to click a button that narrates your emails though in your voice. That would be fantastic.
Oh, there needs to be an Alex Clark Siri pack.
That's a good idea.
or GPS pack.
I prefer not to refer to you as sexy. So
I'd take a GPS pack. All right, I think that's it.
It is.
Faith.org.
Woo. 10.
Saves vaping.
Toodles.
Thanks, Alex.
I want to sing a
Thanks,
song
everybody.
just for you. Because you're my special friend.